Hello my bunnies, it's Ticky's Trinkets here, and today I have for y'all another polymer clay tutorial. Today we are going to be making, sorry for the pause, today we're going to be making Banjo Kazooie, or Banjo and Kazooie, whatever you want to call it, if you want to say their names together or separate. But when I played the game on the Nintendo 64, it just said Banjo Kazooie, not Banjo and Kazooie. But anyways, I made both Banjo and Kazooie. How many times am I going to say that? Take a shot every time. And I did not make his whole body, I just kind of stuffed him in the bag, but he does do that at some parts in the game from what I can remember. It's been a long time since I played the game. But I just didn't have enough time to make his entire body. But this came out super adorable anyways. I am so happy with how he came out. I didn't think he was going to look that good, especially with the way, how big his mouth is, but just, I was able to just like really rock it and make him super cute. Also, you probably already noticed the headbands. This isn't just for flair. If you watch my videos from last year, you know October is headband month. And that means for all of October, I'm going to be wearing headbands, with the end of October being the most spectacular costume. On top of wearing the headbands today, you can probably already see a little of it, I have a Halloween shirt on, and, sorry for the bad angle, Halloween pants on. But yeah, oh jeez, I'm going to knock y'all over. But yeah, I'm like super happy. It's October. We're starting to get some 70-ish temperatures this week, which this weekend coming up, which for Georgia, that is fall weather. We don't get much fall weather here. It's the deep south. But anywho, so like I said, every weekend, every video, I'm going to be wearing some of these. Also tonight going up is my Spirit Halloween vlog, which I did that last year, and I think I'm going to do that every year. It is a little shorter than last year's, but this year's location was a little bit smaller, which is fine, but I'm still happy with it. But yeah, that's the tutorial. The other video's going up. I've been working on my fair art a little bit more. Let me just show you. I'm not going to show you the final draft, or well, almost final. I want to do it one more time. I'm a perfectionist. This is the rough sketch. Also, that's where I did a little swatching for the color. I will give you a little sneaky peeky. Just a little. Boop. You ain't going to see all of it now. But yeah, still working on the fair art. Sorry if you don't want to hear me ramble. Go ahead and skip this part of my video. But I like listening to people talk. That's what makes YouTube so awesome. And other than that, I'm sorry that I haven't been very active on Instagram or on YouTube lately. I had a really rough week for me personally with personal problems that I don't want to get into too deeply. But as for the moment, everything is resolved, and hopefully they stay that way. And I'm still going to keep uploading YouTube videos as usual. And hopefully next week I'll be a little bit better about updates on Instagram, Twitter, and getting my YouTube video up on time and Etsy listings up on time. Anywho, also I'm going to start doing an Etsy sale here shortly for October, you know, getting close to Christmas season. So if you got any orders you want by Christmas time, now's the time to start getting ready to do them. Especially if you want a custom order, please place it in advance. I'm a perfectionist. It takes me a while to make things look that good. Super good. Deliciously good. You can't lie that looks just like the game. Well, besides with my eyes. It's just my thing. That's just my style. And last but not least, I think that's it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you guys so much. I will see you guys in my next video. Like I said, go watch the Spirit Halloween vlog if you want to. Love you guys. Mwah. I'll see you guys in the video. Bye-bye, my buddies. For this tutorial, you're going to need chocolate color, tan, sunshine yellow, red, regular blue from Sculpey 3, and black. We're going to start with the sunshine yellow, which is a primo color, and I wanted a nice light yellow color, so this was a nice creamy yellow. First, we're going to start off by rolling 3 balls. We're going to roll the largest one out into a teardrop shape, and we're already off with blurry pictures. Great. Then you're going to take it and press it against your work surface so it's flat on the bottom. Once you've done that, tilt it on its side, and you're going to go ahead and cut it off about 25-75. The little bit at the bottom is the piece that we're keeping. The other part you can put back in the pack. Next, we're going to move on to the other 2 balls, which are going to be his legs/shorts. You're going to roll these into inch-long teardrop shapes, or a little more, a little less, give or take. And then you're going to cut the tops off so that they're flat, and cut the bottoms off, whichever way you want to look at it, at an angle. And then the little angle pieces, you're going to stick it on the bottom of the torso piece like this. Then after you've done that, you're going to take a toothpick and stick it in it for stability. You can also use metal wiring. I just use a toothpick because most of my stuffs are in a static pose. Next, we're going to go on to the chocolate brown color. There's going to be a lot more balls, and they're all rolled out for you right here. If you want to pause it real quick so you can kind of measure everything up and get your balls ready, that's fine. But we're going to go ahead and start with the largest one, which, similar to the torso, you're going to go ahead and roll this out into a very long teardrop shape, usually about 2 inches in length, like this. And then you're just going to cut off the very little tip part at the top, like so. And then you're also going to cut off the bottom so it's about as wide as the bottom part of his pants. Then just slide it down the toothpick and make sure it's about the same size. If not, cut it a little more, or if it needs to be a little bit wider, re-roll the ball and do it again. Next, we're going to go on to the head. Roll it between your hands to make it into an egg-like shape. It'll look something like this. And then just go ahead and stick it on the toothpick. Perfect. I didn't indent where the eyes go this time because his head's just very rounded shape, so we don't need any indentions for the eyes. Next, we're going to make his little tuft of hair, so we're going to use this ball at the very top, and you're going to roll it into a tiny teardrop shape, which is about a half an inch in length. I can't talk tonight. Then just press it down nice and flat. Then get your cutting tool, and you're going to cut the top and the bottom off so it'll look like this. Perfecto! Next, you're going to cut off little triangles at the top where it's more wide so that it creates this kind of hair effect. And then the part where it's smaller, just go ahead and stick it on the head and make sure you blend it into the head. I also took my X-Acto blade and did little lines on the top of the hair. Here's a little better view. That way you can kind of see like the texturing of his hair. You could do it throughout his whole body, but I just didn't have enough time. Like I said, I had a crazy week. Anywho, these next 2 balls are his ears, so just take your dotting tool and poke 2 little holes in it. And then just get your cutting tool again and just cut the bottoms of them off, like so. And then where it's flat, just go ahead and position on the head according to where it needs to be at. Voila. And make sure you blend it into the head. Very gently blend it into the head so they won't fall off. Now the last 4 balls that I had, I rolled them all in the inch-long teardrop shapes. 2 are the arms, 2 are the legs. And then you're going to line them all up and cut them all flat. I just did it this way because it's a little easier this way. And again, I was pinched for time. Then I cut the tops off the legs at an angle, but then the arms. Then the legs, I cut the tops off flat. The legs for the flat pieces, just push them into the yellow. Go ahead and use some glue if you need to. And then the arms, I positioned how I wanted them. Go ahead, again, use some glue if you wanna. I'd wait until you put the book bag on, though, because that's a little harder with the arms in place. Next, we're going to move on to the tan color. And I'm going to pre-roll the balls that I need. Voila. There are 2 tiny balls at the top if you can't see the second one very well. Those 2 tiny ones, just place them inside the ear and use your dotting tool to poke them down flat. Nice and easy. Next, we're going to use this ball in the middle. This is going to be his stomach tuft of fur. So you're just going to roll it out until it's nice, long, ovally shaped. And then right where that line is, you're going to cut that little piece off and make it nice and flat. It'll look like this. And then pick it up and you're going to place it on his stomach. The flat piece should be facing down towards his pants. Kind of tuck it into his pants a little bit. You can't literally tuck it into his pants, but line it up with the pants seam. Next, we're going to make his mouth. This is the hardest part, so take this, it's about 1/2 inch in size. Roll it into a very thick teardrop shape, just like this, one side being larger than the other. The larger size, take your X-Acto blade or something that's about this size and push it into there while holding it. Hold the other part with your fingers. And then take it and pinch it to where the little piece bends upward. And then also take your dotting tool and indent where the nose is going to be. Next, take some kind of dotting tool or cutting tool and indent the mouth line on the bottom and on the side right here. The side view, this is just a little better. There you go. It's a little easier to tell what it is on that side too. Make sure you go all the way around the mouth, okay? Then get some glue and go ahead and glue it onto the face. Position it how you like. I have his head tilted slightly sideways like it is on the cover of the game. Then I got two, I don't know the sizes, acrylic beads and put them in for the eyes. His eyes are really close together, that's why they're so close. Next we're going to move on to these two balls. You're going to roll these into teardrop shapes, again about 1 inch in length, and then pick them up and pinch them between your thumb and index finger, and this will create a kind of foot-like shape. So this will be his little paws. Once you do that, they should both look something like this. Try to make them as about an equal in size as possible. Then you're just going to cut off the little tips with your cutting tool. Perfecto. And then you're just going to take the flat part of the feet and glue them onto the legs. Ta-da! Next, just take your X-Acto blade or some kind of like line tool to where you can indent the little tootsies. And then after that, keep the X-Acto blade or line tool in your hand and indent the little seams on the pants. Kind of like the, for lack of better words, the crotch part of the pants. Then we're going to take these last two tan color balls, roll them into inch-long teardrop shapes, then press them down gently so that they'll be round on the top but flat on the bottom. And then you're just going to cut them off about halfway down. Ooh, bless me, sorry. I couldn't warn y'all because it just happened. Then just cut in 2 lines for the fingers, and then just position the hands however you like. And then I went on ahead and took crazy glue and glued everything together. Although I will admit Loctite works better, but I was out of Loctite at that moment. Next we're going to go on to the black color Sculpey 3 clay, and I'm going to roll out a big ball. One is for his belt, the other tiny one is his nose. The nose one, you can just go ahead and plop that right up there. Perfect. Easy. The belt one, you're just going to roll it out nice and flat. Not too thin to where to tear apart, but you know, thin enough. Very, very thin. As thin as you can get it. Then cut it into a rectangle, and then cut this rectangle into 2 equal strips. They should look as equal as possible. Then wrap one piece around his body and cut off the excess, and then wrap another piece around and meet on the sides of the body. Then blend it in together. Next we're going on to the blue color. I believe this is Sculpey 3 blue, but it might be a different color, but I don't have the name written, so I'm not sure. Just a light blue. First we're taking that largest blue ball we had, and you're going to roll it into a kind of squarish kind of shape. Then you're going to cut off the top. That'll create the inside of the bag. Then you're going to take the other little ball and roll it into a kind of oval shape. This is going to be the top flap of the bag. And then you're going to roll that little egg roll shape into a circle, and then cut a little bit off the circle. And then go ahead and stick the flat part on the back of the bag and just wrap it around. Don't press it too tightly because you might need to move it. And just to put it on his back to show you where I have it positioned. Hope that makes it a little easier. Make sure you use some glue. Then we're going to take the little ball, one more little ball, excuse me, I forgot to add this ball. These are for the straps of the bag. Then just go ahead and roll it out flat, and just like with the belt, you're going to cut this into 2 long rectangular strips, like so. And if you do exactly this size, it should fit exactly how you need. I just took it and started at the top and then wrapped him around his armpit, and there's a little bit hanging off just like a real book bag strap, as you can see here. Both sides just have a teensy bit hanging off, but I actually like the effect of it. Next we're going to move on to the red. I used Primo Red, but that's just what I had, but you can use Sculpey 3 or whatever you prefer. Next we're going to roll out one ball that's about 1/2 inch in size, and you're going to roll it into a teardrop shape, but pinch it on one end so that it kind of makes a snake-like shape. Then the other end, cut it off about halfway so it's flat, just like this. The other teardrop piece, go ahead and press that down gently with your finger, like so. And then once you press it down gently with your finger, it should look something like this. This is the top of his feathers, his hair. So after that, you're just going to take that little piece and cut the top and the bottom off. Put the excess piece back into your pack. Keep that little rectangle there. Then take your whatever tool you use and indent lines on the sides and the top. And then use a little dab of glue and just
attach it to his head and kind of bend it forward just slightly. Next, I went on ahead and put him inside the bag. And this is the front view, and I'm also going to show you the back view. It looks just like this. I also use glue here. If you need to, use metal wiring here too. You'll see how I keep his head up in a minute. Then I took 2 acrylic beads that are a good size smaller than these for his eyes. And we're going to go back to that sunshine yellow from the beginning, and we're going to make his beak. So you're going to make one little ball from this that's about 1/2 inch in length and diameter. Then you're going to roll this into a very chunky teardrop shape. It should look something like this. And once you got this shape, you're going to press it down gently yet firmly with your fingertip, like so. Then once you get it round on the top but very flat on the bottom, you're going to cut off that little bit of excess right here and keep the pointed side. Then take that pointed piece and put it on your X-Acto blade just like you did with the mouth, and make his mouth curved too. Then you can go ahead and indent the lines with your X-Acto blade to give him a mouth, and then just glue it onto his face. Easy. Now go ahead and take rubbing alcohol and clean off your whole sculpture if there's any dust or debris. Mine was pretty dirty. Tan is a B word to work with. Once I got done, it looked something like this. And now I'm ready to bake. I went on ahead and took out the eyes on both him and the bear because these are acrylic beads. If you want to bake the eyes in, you need glass. To keep his head up, I just stacked up some pieces of wood to keep his head propped up. You can use wood, tin foil, anything that's oven safe. While he's baking at 350 degrees for 12 minutes in a gas oven, I painted this wooden nickel-sized base. Well, they're called nickels, but they're way bigger than a nickel. They're more like $50. And I just painted it a dark blue color. Now the Banjo and Kazooie are out the oven. I'd waited for them to cool off and then got Loctite glue to glue their eyes in. I went to the store, made a little run. Actually, honestly, I found this in a box under my desk. I didn't know I had another one. Then I glued in his eyes. Then I got red and yellow, and you're going to use the yellow to paint the top of his feathers, the red to paint the top of his beak. It should look like this when you get done. Next, I took both silver and pearl colored clay. Not clay, paint. Acrylic paint, my lord. Then I used the pearl color to make his necklace and the silver to make his belt buckle. Once that's nice and dry, we're going to move on to the next paint. You need brown. And you're going to dot on the little tootsies and little palms of his feet. It should look something like this once you're finished. And again, wait for this to dry again. And now you're ready to glue him to the base. Use E6000 or Loctite glue, super glue. I prefer E6000, and then glue into the base. Once he's glued to the base and dry, get your polyacrylic floor varnish from Walmart and glaze him up. Not sponsored, just love the product. And he's done. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Happy Halloween in October. Bye-bye.